Hi, welcome to Power Pantaloons. This is Tanya. I'm your holistic cancer wellness specialist. And today I'm really excited to have with us Maryam Ali Essa Zastoupil. I'm close, right?
You're doing a great job. Let's go. Keep going.
She is uh, a mindset coach, a business coach, the purpose queen, a friend, and a personal mentor. And I am honored to call her a sister. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Tony. I appreciate you having me. I appreciate you being part of this. I'm very excited. I've seen all your podcasts. I've seen how many people you've been changing their lives. And again, I cannot wait for this podcast to start.
I am super excited. So I wanted to talk to you specifically about mindset because in order for you to be a business coach, you have to have mindset down pat. And I also want to talk to you about purpose because I do
Hmm.
think that they go hand in hand. And as far as I'm concerned, mindset needs to be the number one thing that you focus on if you end up with a traumatic diagnosis such as cancer.
I hear you totally.
So let's start with mindset. How do you start by getting your mind right? What are steps and tips that you want to offer on that?
I love that now. So Tonya, we've been working with you and Dan for a few years now, and you know how I start. I start with my purpose. So my name is Maryam Essa Al Ali Zastoupil. I put God first. This is my story, and I have a purpose. I help others embrace their authentic self to serve a bigger purpose. Everything I do in my life, from the minute I wake up in the morning to the minute I go to sleep at night, is a service of something bigger than who I am. Your question about mindset, Tonya, is phenomenal because many people want to do a lot of things, but we see people getting results and other group of people who are not getting results. So what are they missing? So when you think about the word mind and set, which means how your mind is being set for how is it being conditioned for the thing that you want to go ahead and achieve. So here is the thing: how do you get your mind right? We're gonna go straight into it. You need to find the reason for your existence. You need to find your purpose. I always talk about purpose and I always tell people you need to find your purpose. You need to find your purpose. Why am I saying that? Is because I understand the minute you figure out what your purpose is, it's crazy how many things in your universe are going to be starting to align because you are playing a bigger game. This game is not about yourself only. It is not about you and your husband only. It is not about you and your family only. It's not only about the community you are serving. It's not about the town or the city you are in. It becomes bigger. So your sense of responsibility grows when you understand what your purpose is. So purpose by definition is the reason of why something exists. When you understand why do you exist, you're going to be setting goals, as we call them 10x goals. You're going to be setting goals that are 10 times more what you would normally think and achieve. So for me personally, mindset, for you to have the right mindset, you need to understand why do you exist first.
That is a fantastic answer. It's exactly what I expected, honestly. And I agree. I agree that mindset and purpose go together.
Mhm.
Um, it how would you so if somebody ended up with a diagnosis such as cancer,
Yeah.
how would you go about helping them figure out their purpose? Would that change because of their situation or would it not?
I love that question. So here's the thing. Just to clarify, I don't have a medical background, but here's what I know. I've noticed a lot of people who have cancer and they survived, like yourself, Atonia. You have a strong mindset. You had something bigger pulling you to the future other than the physical body and all the different changes that happens with it because you are going through the treatments and everything. So what I have noticed from the people or the friends or the colleagues or the people who I have studied and looked into their lives, the ones who are cancer survivors, those people, they got to survive because their mindset was beyond whatever is happening in their physical universe. What I have learned once from many of my mentors is that once you get your spirit right, you get the physical condition right. And by the physical condition, we do not mean your house or the planet, we mean yourself. And it all starts here because now you are not thinking about, oh my God, how do I get this body to be cured? It's crazy. I know there is a huge science behind it, but here's what I know. Once you get your spiritual condition right, you're going to get your physical environment right, including your physical unit, as in your physical body. So again, I don't know anything from them. I mean, I'm not very familiar with the medical side of it, but I know spiritually, many people got through it because they had the will to survive and the will to do something. Going back to your question, can I help them find their purpose? 100%. Anyone can find their purpose. Whether you are 8 years old or 80 years old, it doesn't matter. Like, it takes a moment of awareness and someone to say, you know what? I am ready to find the reason for my existence. And again, think about it. When you understand why do you exist, I believe your willingness to fight is going to be even stronger, because you will understand that you are not there for that specific thing or for that small thing or whatever that maybe the goal that you thought it was big. The minute you understand that your existence matter, and every single person on this planet, I believe that their existence matter, and they are here on this planet to serve a bigger purpose, whatever that bigger purpose is for the person. So that's what my answer is, Tonya. To be honest with you, I feel like definitely, like, think about it. You understand the reason for your existence. Of course, you will be able to go ahead and execute on it even with more will and with a stronger mindset.
I I totally agree. I am also not a medical doctor, nor am I giving any medical advice. I have walked a cancer journey, and that was
Yeah.
almost 17 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I absolutely credit one thing that I did every day, and it was a mindset trick. Every day, I visualized that I was putting on a pair of Wonder Woman's underwear, because for me, Wonder Woman doesn't die. And that was the physical representation. Like, because I actually was putting on, my fresh ruse, right? The physical representation of me actively deciding to live every day, because it's a
Yeah.
choice, right? And I also agree that once you get the holistic, the mind and the spirit right, you allow the path for the physical to be correct. I do think that first a disease starts as a dis-ease somewhere
Mm-hmm.
in your, whether it's a trauma or
Wow.
something like that that starts the process. um our minds are so powerful. We understand so very little of what we can and cannot do.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you say this all the time, and it's one of my favorite quotes: whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Confucius or
I
Henry
think
Ford.
I need to ask, because these are not my words. I believe it could be Confucius. I'm not sure about that. I need to look this one up and make sure I get you that information. But yeah, 100%. Whether you think you can survive or not, you are right. Whether you think you can be around the right people or the wrong people, you are absolutely right. Whether you think you can make a lot of money or you don't think you can make a lot of money, you are absolutely right. You think you can have access to the right resources and to the right information, you are right. You think you can't have access to the right information and the right resources, you are also right. I believe that anything you say becomes right. So be careful what you wish for. Like I
Yep.
always tell people, be careful what you wish for, because in my whole journey, the things I wished for or even thought about consistently happened, because that's where my attention is. And we talk about this a lot, Alex and I, in our different power programs. Like, here's the thing, like, whatever you focus on expands. Whatever it is that you are focusing on definitely expands. So you might, if since the bad will expand, you might as well focus on the good, because it will expand eventually.
Yes. Yes. Like, the whether you think you can't. I have personally witnessed individuals be diagnosed with
Mm-hmm.
cancer and decide they couldn't beat it, and then therefore did not. And that's one of the hardest things as being a survivor, is watching other people just choose not to fight it. And it's so frustrating, but you have to let them take their own path, right? You can provide them all the information, but you can't force anybody to do anything they don't want to do.
Absolutely. And it's choices. It's literally choices. Like there is a great book. This is maybe a book for you, Tony, and for the audience as well. It's the first book I read about purpose. That was back in 2012 or 2013. This is at the beginning of me helping people find their purpose. So when I started this journey, I wanted to find out every single book written about it, every single speech talked about it. And I noticed some of the things I was listening to purpose didn't make any sense, because some people always think, oh, purpose is your business, or purpose is your family, or purpose is your, for example, your friends. And it didn't click with me, because I'm like, okay, if I'm a mom, let's say I'm a mom, I have kids, my kids will grow up one day and they have their own life. So does this mean I have no purpose anymore? This is when I realized that no, purpose starts from way farther than that. So how far? I personally believe, from what I've read and seen, is that your purpose, or the reason for your existence, you already have it since birth. You are all you are all born with a certain characteristic. There is a natural gift that you have since birth. It's given to you. I believe in God. It's given to you by God, or given to you by the universe, and you already have it since you were a baby. Now that natural gift goes with you through life, and then something happens, life happens, it shatters part of the confidence in yourself and that gift that you had, and the result of it is someone who doesn't remember it anymore. It doesn't mean that you have forgotten it. So when I help people find their purpose, I help them understand who they truly are. Now, when I was going through the journey, Tonya, I figured that there are certain institutions or certain entities that do not teach it the right way. So I went through the journey and I found out there is like a process for it. And you went through the process, Tony. I'm not going to talk about a process unless this is something we need to discuss in a bit here. But here's what I noticed. There are some books written about it. So the book I want to recommend for you and your audience here, there is a great book called A Man Search for Meaning by Dr. Franklin. He wrote it during World War II in one of the concentration camps in Germany at that time. So it was amazing to think he was talking about, I'm not going to spoil the book for you, during Christmas time, why there are so many people who would die naturally, and why would someone survive? The people who would die closer to Christmas time, they would think that they would like, when Christmas comes in, they would have thought, oh, by now we will be with our families, and then they're not with their families. So that mindset that you talk about, and that excitement and that spirit dies. And when the spirit dies, if you want to call it this way, the body doesn't want to live anymore. The body doesn't want to live anymore. So it's amazing. Like that was one of the books I've read about like purpose that really made me understand that really living your purpose gives you life. If you don't know your purpose, you're not living. Look at the planet. 95% of people on planet Earth, they don't know the reason for their existence. They wake up in the morning, they drive their cars, they go to work, and then they work until 5 p.m. And then after that, after they finish working, they go ahead, they go to their families, they maybe go to the gym, they maybe go ahead and watch some TV shows, and it becomes a cycle. They don't want to get out of it. And when someone becomes aware to get out of it, he notices like most people around them, they don't want to get out of it because they think this is how it's supposed to be. And this is how they have to live. I personally think that you don't have to do anything. You do what is the right thing to do. When you say, I have to do it, it means you have no choice. Where in fact, I believe when you are born as a baby, since then you had the free will to do whatever you need to do on this planet. So it's we're getting into the spiritual side of it, Tonya. But I'm telling you, it's crazy. Like I've seen people finding their purpose and living it, and people who find it and they retreat. Why? Because now they need to go ahead and do the work. They need to go ahead and go against all the odds and everything else that they were against, or what they were thought is right, to go and live the reason for their existence, whatever it is. Everybody has a different purpose. Everybody has a different purpose, as unique as your
fingerprint.
Thank you. Yeah, as your fingerprint. It's unique to you, every single person. And the only reason people think they don't know their purpose is because they don't want to know it. They want to keep some people are okay keeping it a mystery because, oh, well, what if it's different than my life? What am I supposed? What if I'm supposed
what
to
if I have to do something? What if I have to be uncomfortable? What if I have to change?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've seen it. I've been helping people with this since 2012. I've seen it. I've seen it. So it takes, that's why I admire every single person who comes to me and say, I want to find my purpose. Why? Because I know it takes courage for them to
do that.
to step in and say, you know what, I lived like that, but what if there is more? What if there is more? What if there is more? And I've noticed this actually with people who are so successful. They are successful in business, they have some successful financially, they raise their kids, they have some degrees, but then there is they say there is this thing, there is something missing. It's the reason for their existence.
Yeah. You get to do the change have to I get to, and that changes how you look at the situation, right? Like you can't control the situation that you have. The
Yeah.
only thing that you control is how you view it
Mm,
and what you do from that. If you look at everything negatively, all you're going to do is get negative results.
yeah. Totally. And again, I can even agree with you more when it comes. I changed that word I have
I'm
because
working on it.
what's that?
I'm working on it.
Let's go. I mean, you're with us. I mean, you're gonna be fine. It's like peeling things. What we do, like again, I'm not. We have one of our programs that we're part of. Again, what we're trying to do is just to peel these things out. And when someone says, "Oh my God, Maryam, I want to join you for a day," I'm like, you need to join me for a year because one thing cannot change your life. One event, of course, I believe that there is a main event that will change your life, but you need to keep showing up for the things that matters to you. If you are an engineer, maybe you need to show up for the engineering events and conferences. If you are like, let's say you are in fashion, attend every single fashion event. Maryam, what if it's a failure? It's okay. Even if it's a failure, you will know what failure looks like. So you will know you were gonna go ahead and look for excellence. And here is the thing, like it's amazing. When you change from I have to I get to do
Can.
it.
Yeah, I
I
can.
can, or I am already, as we write in our goals, I am already this. I exist as. If you look at the word am, what is the definition of the word am? It means existing, existing as. So I am, it means I am existing as this. When I say I am omnipresent, it means I am existing right now. I'm everywhere right now, not in the future, because I always believe that the future is now. Whatever I'm doing now is reflecting in the future. The future could be the next minute here, right? So the idea of it is the minute you shift from the word have to, as you mentioned, get or I am, or you make it in present tense, there's something happens in your mind, like you're not thinking in the future right now because the future is today. What we call it is pulling the future to you. Excuse me. You're pulling the future to you as you are doing the future today. You're not doing the future tomorrow or the day after or next year and next week. So again, it's very powerful. So change it from I have to I am. It's amazing what happens. I have, all what it does is that it makes it more solid that you have no choice. I have to do it. I have to take care of my kids. I have to go to the gym. I have to start a business. It's different than I am running a successful business. I am raising amazing kids. It's different because it makes you feel that you are living in the now. Totally.
It makes you feel that you're living in the now, but it changes the tone. Like have is an obligation.
Yeah.
Get to or I'm able to is a privilege.
Yeah.
It's living in gratitude.
Mm.
Like it's literally living in gratitude. And I know that some lives are really rough. Like we all go through portions of our existence that is really pretty horrible. I know that you've had some horrible experiences. I mean, a year worth of cancer journey is no joke.
Yeah.
No, no, it's really not. And then spending 5 years rediscovering my divine feminine because the essence of my feminine core tried to murder me, right? Like that's heavy. And a cancer diagnosis is trauma. Like it
Yeah.
you PTSD, right? So but being able to walk out of that after coming out of all of that and be grateful for that experience, right? Because it really it was rough, but it radically changed who I am and how I feel,
Yeah.
think, believe. And it's actually a very common response when you talk to survivors. They say that they're grateful for their journey. They're grateful for their hardships because
Yeah.
the fire tests us and makes us better people, right? If we become stronger when we're forged. Um, we just have to work through it and we just have to keep working through it.
Yeah.
I want to touch on accountability
Mm.
and mentorship because we as people can't do it alone, right? We can write our goals, we can try to be consistent with what we want to bring into our lives, but that's impossible to do without people to hold you accountable because if you don't have somebody that you say please hold me accountable for these things, you're not going to do them.
Mm. I hear you. So when it comes to accountability and mentorship, this is something that Alex and I at our company Clear and Conquer, we take it very seriously because the reason we created that group in the first place, which you are part of, Tony, and you're a very active member part of it. So thank you so much for, being with us all these different years. Um, there is so much you can do on your own.
Yeah.
Think about this is how much you can do on your own, and this is how much you can do. So you cannot even see the end of it with other people. Because someone needs to be with you throughout the journey. If you guys are, like if you guys read, for example, the holy books or whatever, you would see that the biggest names in history, they had people helping them. Jesus had 12 people with him. Moses had his brother Aaron with him. Every single person who walked on this earth and created a huge impact, they had a companion. Sheikh Zayed, the founder of the United Arab Emirates, where I'm from, he had his friend and brother, Sheikh Rashid bin Said, so to actually create what we know today as the United Arab Emirates. Why? Because you need someone with you, even though you are amazing and you are capable and you have a great vision, you need someone with you to help you as in to mentor you, to show you the way, and also to hold you accountable. Why do we talk about accountability? When someone holds you accountable, you are more likely to work harder. When you go to the gym, and you have a personal trainer, is different than going to the gym and working out on your own. You
Yeah.
do it as to the level that you are comfortable with. Oh, I'm gonna do 7 reps, and then you have like a trainer who says, no, you do 12 reps. So it's a little bit what? It's challenging, but here's what it happens. They push the lid of whatever you think that is enough for you. They push the lid for you to go ahead and do something bigger. Alex holds me accountable. I hold Alex accountable. In fact, it is one of our targets as a couple. We hold each other accountable in our personal life and it's also in our professional life, since we are both running a business here. So by the end of the day, many people want to go ahead and get that amazing life, but they say, oh, I'm going to do it on my own. Good luck. My mentor, Grant Cardone, is like, okay, good luck. Be the first one in the history of man that did something great on their own, because no one, zero, since a human walked this earth, no one had done something great on their own. There was always someone helping them along the way.
Yeah.
Someone might ask, how can I find the right person to hold me accountable? Or how can I be mentored by the right people? It is the advice we gave you guys at the 10X event in Dubai. Be open to receive. The reason that you are not attracting the right people into your life is because many people, they believe there is no good people out there. Or people are gonna take advantages of me. I don't think people care for me. I don't think I am worth this. But the minute you are open to receive, you're gonna start identifying people who are willing to hold you accountable and also to mentor you, to coach you, to show you the way. I am so grateful for my mentors, Grant Cardone and Brandon Dawson and Elena Cardone, because these guys, what they did is that they literally mentored me. They gave me advice. Yes, I paid to be in these rooms. They gave me advice that it would take me 20 or 30 years to figure it out. So what do? Do I be open to receive and I be willing to get into the right rooms, or do I want to go ahead and figure it out on my own? And that might take me years, maybe decades. And I would like to end this part with saying this, like I learned this from Grant, my mentor. He said, pay the price today so you can pay any
Hey,
price
any price
tomorrow.
later.
Exactly. You see, like any price today, what is the price? Time? What is the price? Energy? What is the price me living between Dubai and the United States? What is the price? Is it me spending my money in growing myself? What is the price for me to keep investing in the business and growing it? What is the price? There is a price to be paid. And here's the thing. Many people want that level of success, but they are not willing. And I'm talking about the word will. They're not willing to do what we call it, whatever it takes. They want it, but no, I want it as in with my comfort, as long as it's not like jeopardizing other areas of my life. I want this as long as I, want to do it. I'm like, okay, good. So I would say so to someone, okay, it takes you this much money to go ahead to join us for a whole year. Let's say 5K. Okay, good. How much are you willing to invest? No, I don't invest more than 50K a month. Okay, so it's comfortable. It's comfortable. When something is comfortable, your growth is very, very limited. So it depends what you want to do in life. Do you want to expand and be around the right people and get to be held accountable by the right people, or you want to come up with excuses for the things that you need to go ahead and carry and take responsibility for?
Right. The reason that I wanted you to go deep into that is because when you receive a cancer diagnosis or some other diagnosis, critical illness or something like that, I, when my doctor said you have uterine cancer, her lips kept moving. And I all I heard was Charlie Brown's teacher, womp womp womp, like nothing, and
Yeah.
like literally stopped breathing, right? And it took a while for me to take my first real deep breath after that. You're lost, you're confused. And you really do need a guide, somebody who's walked that, who knows exactly what that feels like. So whether you come to me for that or you choose somebody else, there are plenty of cancer organizations out there, that nonprofits, for profits, whatever, right, that are willing to help you. And
Yes,
just find somebody that is willing to help you.
totally.
The entire reason that I created this podcast is to give away this advice for free, right? I, I need to be the resource I needed and didn't have when I went through it. And so I think it's super important. Not a lot of people like really understand mentorship or coaching. It's not mainstream in our society, right? Like it seems like it's fringe and weird and people don't quite understand what it's about. But in order to really excel, we need coaches, right? We need learning and we need mentors.
Totally. I'm gonna tell you, and it's a lifelong thing. It's not like you ask for a mentor. Oh, I want a mentor for 1 month. You might as well want them for the rest of your life. Why? Because there is always someone who's always there's always someone who's better than you on this planet. So again, going back to the point we are saying earlier, like, do you want to do it on your own, or you want to do it with someone, as you mentioned, Tonya, someone who is really good at what they're doing? They have the stats. We talk about this, like, always find someone who has the stats, who have the evidence in the thing that you are looking for. Like they have
Right.
the evidence, they know what they're saying, they know what they're talking about, they take it seriously, you know? And many people, like, why don't they, and the reason many people don't like coaching and mentorship is because literally they don't understand it. They don't know why do they need to go talk to someone and figure it out? No, I'm going to figure it out on my own. It's going to come to me by experience, of course. But how long do you want to get that experience? You want to do 30, 40 years, or you want to do it quickly? You want to do it in 2 to 3 years? Like we invested so much with our mentors, and this is the best thing we've done. This is the biggest hack. If someone wants to get a hack, the biggest hack to get to the right mentor is to pay for access. I don't know what you need to pay. Do you want to sponsor one of their events? You want to go ahead and pay for their time? Do something to get close to them. Because I promise you, if you are looking up to someone who has something or a glimpse of the thing that you are looking for, that person can help you get, even if it's one step forward.
Yep.
Maybe you are stuck where you are trying to move, but it's not moving. Maybe you need a mentor who has the stats, they know what they're talking about, they are good people. The criteria with me and Alex when we go ahead and get mentored by someone, three things. Then we want them to be ethical, we want them to be authentic, and we want them to be wealthy in two things: wealthy in purpose and wealthy in money. Because again, we are living also in an economical planet. You need to go ahead and figure out how you can go ahead and make more money. The more money I make, the more power I have, the more people I can reach.
Yep. Right.
Yeah.
You don't want to take relationship advice with somebody who's divorced 3 times,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Like,
Totally not. Yes.
so you have to be careful who you choose. But a lot of people would rather just ask their buddy who is right where they are for advice instead of go finding a guru or
Yeah.
not a guru. Guru's the wrong word. Mentor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well said. Absolutely. So with that being said, like one thing I actually wanted to emphasize on here is sometimes you look at someone, if I here's what I tell people. If you want to be mentored by someone, look them up, look up their name. Look them up on social media. Look them up on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Snapchat, on TikTok, whatever you think about any social media platform. Because right now, if someone doesn't have a social media account, something is not right. Something is not. They're hiding something. You know, they're hiding something. They want something to be hidden. There's something that they don't want it to be censored. So what's going on? Every single person here, especially that you want to go ahead and learn from them, they might as well not only have a website, and I don't look at the website. I look at what are they doing on social media. If you find their social media, how frequently are they posting? What are they posting about? Are they posting about what they're claiming? Because many of these people who claim to be mentors, if you want to go ahead and go to their pages, you will be amazed. You will be amazed by how much, like, they posted something, a car, and maybe another post about money, and maybe another post about a mansion. Okay, what is this thing here that you are telling me that you can help me with financial freedom, where you yourself, I cannot find any information on you? If you cannot find information, excuse me, if you cannot find information on people in social media, there is something they are hiding, period. Period. Everybody is in social media these days. Everybody. So even when we employ people in our company, we go ahead and look them up. We look up the name. We look up their LinkedIn profile. We look up their Instagram and Facebook. It is not like we are doing clearance. It's not that. We are literally, it's that too. But the main reason we're doing that is because it's because you want to know, like, who's this person?
Yep.
Are they who they say who they are or not? So if someone tells me, oh my God, Maryam, I've been to Dubai, I've been to Dubai 2 years ago and it was amazing. I'm like, okay, good. If I go to Facebook and I cannot find a picture of you in Dubai, and you say you travel a lot and you have a Facebook and you don't have a picture in Dubai, in your Facebook, something is interestingly going on there. So I see what I'm saying? So you again, trust your intuition. I always tell people, trust your intuition. Your intuition is there for a reason. If there's a person
Yes.
in your life, right? If
Yep.
there's a person in your life, like you don't feel good, they give you a funny feeling in your stomach. Why? What's happening there? Never, 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 like, devalue or downgrade or let go of a feeling that that comes from your spirit. And by the way, this feelings comes to you when you are very calm. Because someone will be like, oh my God, Maryam, I have this weird feeling, and you are angry and you're not upset. No, don't trust your gut feeling at that moment. Do not trust your gut feeling at that moment. You trust your gut feeling when you are calm, because nothing is turbulating you. And then you look at a person like, oh, this is something off is there. It's a different than when you are very emotional. Something is wrong with them. Okay? Check your status first before you look at
Yep.
other people. You see? Again, maybe it's another topic, but it's amazing what happens. Like, some mentors can help. I can help people sense people. Like, I've had this ability for a very long time. I know, I look at someone, I know if they are good and I know they are bad. And I do not need more than one sign. We do not, you do not.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. When you meet someone and the hair on the back of your neck stands up and they haven't said a word to you yet, you already know.
Yeah.
You already know.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, you know, if someone, now this is if you want to go a little bit into the spirit. You as a spirit, you are a spiritual being. You know what is good and you know what is bad. When you are in
Right,
your
because
spiritual,
your vibration,
mm,
it, like if you're resonating up here and they're down here, you know that.
yeah,
And if you hang out with them, do you think they're coming here? No,
yeah,
you're going this way, right? So your body knows, right? Like some of the five people you hang out with, right?
yeah,
Who you are. So developing your intuition, the more
mm,
you listen to what your body says,
yeah,
the more your body will talk to you.
mm,
The more your spirit, like however you want to say, right? Like um listening to my body is literally what saved my life.
wow,
Everybody assumes that if you have cancer, there are markers in your blood. And that is true in like 99% of the cases. I don't know the real that's me just summarizing, right? It's
mm-hmm,
it's extremely rare when it does not show up in the blood. And the reason I know this is because I went and had a conversation with a blood oncologist.
right,
Um, and when I said to her that, you know, I had uterine cancer and there was no markers in my blood, the look on her face was utter shock, right? I could have pushed her over with a feather. She had never heard that before. So I know that it's extremely rare that doesn't show up. But there were no markers in my blood. But I knew there was something wrong with me. The pap smear, the ultrasound, the transvaginal ultrasound, they did something called a sonohistogram, which is where they inflate the uterus with saline and then image you. All
wow,
of that stuff came back um, inconclusive or negative. They actually had to do a DNC to find my cancer.
wow,
And when they removed my uterus, so a healthy uterus is 4 ounces. When they took mine out, it was over 10 pounds.
wow,
And there was nothing to indicate that there was something going on except for some bleeding and my intuition.
mm, mm,
So listen to your body when it tells you
yeah,
something is off because it knows.
yeah.
You just have to be attentive.
I love, thank you, like Tonya. I just want to thank you here for being very open and telling people about this because it's amazing. Like again, it's an experience you went through. Imagine how many people are literally listening to this podcast. I don't know, today, in a week, in a year, in 2 years, in 10 years, and they are hearing something from you as a survivor who went through. So I want to thank you for being so open to share your experience. Many people, they have this fear of sharing this kind of experience. And I just want to share, thank you so much for listening to your intuition, because I promise when the spirit is right, you just, your intuition will tell you what is right and what is wrong. And if your intuition cannot tell you if you are right or you are, if you are right or you are wrong, there is something blocked spiritually. Maybe you are around the wrong people. Maybe you are hanging out with the wrong environment. Maybe you are maybe you are creating so many. Maybe you're doing a lot of wrong things in your life. Maybe you are cheating. Maybe you are stealing. Maybe you are just, bad mouthing people. By the way, guys, I don't know if you believe in karma. Karma comes in good and comes in bad. When someone, so, oh, it's karma. Karma can be good and karma can be bad. You put out the good, you receive the good. You put out the bad, you receive the bad. By the way, it doesn't matter how long it takes. I believe that your karma will catch up with you in your lifetime if you don't wake up. Going back to your point about intuition, absolutely. Like intuition, you don't need to know why. You have this feeling. I'll tell you an example. One time we went with one of our friends invited us for his birthday. And it was in an area here in downtown that Alex and we have never been to. And I remember the minute we got into this neighborhood, I had this feeling. I'm like, oh, this is not my space. So, and I saw where the restaurant will be. I called my friend. I'm like, I love you, brother, but I'm not coming to your birthday. Oh no, Maryam, what happened? I'm like, I don't like this place. He's like, what do you don't like about it? I'm like, I'm not staying to find out. You know, I don't,
Yep.
I don't want something to happen right now, and then I deal with it tonight or tomorrow. So again, I don't know what was in that place, but when you are in a very high, as you, if you want to call it, you're in a very high frequency, you understand who you are in your truth, you are very authentic, you are true to who you are. There is like, you would sense these things before it happens. You would sense it. Like, I do not sit around people or hang out with a group of people who mouth other people. I don't. If someone want to talk bad about my mentor, I don't sit with them. Why? Because why are you talking bad about my mentor? Or even if they are close friends or something like that, I do not get engaged. I do not get engaged in something about someone if they are not in front of me. Like, I will not talk bad about you, Tonya. If I
Right.
go to Dan and I say to Dan, oh my God, I think Tonya is saying 1, 2, 3, 4. If I cannot say it in front of you, I better not say it in front of Dan, because that's gonna come bite me on my back.
But yep, exactly, Miriam. Absolutely, right? Like, and talking about people is not a quality that you want
Mm,
to personify. It's not a quality. I've always believed that if I have something to say, I must say it to your face,
totally.
or
And
I'm
I'm
going to keep my
glad.
mouth shut, right? Like those are the two options. There's
That's why many people ask, how can I be spiritually awakened? And be like, be true who you are. Oh no, Maryam, I don't take drugs. I pray and I do everything. I'm like, okay, how do you treat other people?
uh-huh.
How do you, okay, good. Because praying, fasting, meditating, this is great, great. This is you connecting to the divine or to your higher self or to God. Again, I don't get involved in that. But how about you? How are you treating the creation? How are you treating the how are you treating other human beings? How are you treating even animals? And how are you treating the trees? And how are you treating the environment? And how are you treating everything around you? How are you treating it? Are you open or are you closed? Is it easier for people to have a conversation with you or not? Again, all these different small indications. Maryam, it's not true. What do you mean I have to talk good to people? All people are bad. Okay. That's why something spiritually is blocked, my friend. Sometimes we say the thing, we say we don't, but then the minute we start looking within, we're, oh, maybe I'm actually responsible for what's happening in my life, which we are,
That
by the
well,
more,
of course we are. Yep,
yeah,
exactly. But like God is such a complex thing, right?
I
So
understand.
in my belief, there's big God, universe, whatever, right? But
Right.
little God, right? Like we are all part of God.
I
Everything
understand.
that lives and breathes on this planet is part of God. So
Mm,
how you're treating those beings is how you treat God.
mm.
And so if 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 you're bad mouthing that that individual, then you are bad mouthing part of God.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, I try to be mindful and respectful with everything I do and say. Some days I really fail at that.
I hear you.
Um, some days are just really rough. Other days I'm much better, and just get up the next day and keep trying to be the best version of yourself.
Totally, Tonya. And to be honest with you, like, it's again, I believe the answers lies within. Sometimes we are looking for the answers outside, where in fact, when was the last time, if you guys are watching this, when was the last time you sat in silence and started thinking or wondering, without your social media, without your laptop, without your shows? When was the last time you just went outside in the open? You went to the beach, or you went to the park, or you went to the desert, or you went to the forest in a quiet place? And here's what it's like, again, since we're talking about the topic of God, like, it's one thing that one of my friends taught me. It's like God is in the silence. If you want to be connecting to something higher, if you guys, if you believe you're part of it or you are it, or again, I'm not even getting into that. But if you want to connect to something bigger than who you are or understand more of who you are, you have to be in a quiet environment. Because when something is given to you, when a revelation, let's say, is given to you, number one, you are open to receive, and number two, it's quiet. It's
Yeah.
quiet. It's quiet within you. and it's quiet in the physical universe. It's quiet. Alex and I, we were planning one of the events which you attended, the 10X event in Dubai. And in one of the events, I'm like, it's quiet. It's quiet. And we had a breakthrough that night. It's quiet. There is always, there is before the breakthrough. So there is like, if you want to talk about breakthroughs for a second, breakthroughs, I'm going to do you want us to talk about breakthroughs, Tony? I would love to share a little bit about
yes, Miriam, whatever you want to talk about.
Sure, I want to make sure it's appropriate. So here's what I understood about breakthroughs. Breakthroughs is it's a breakthrough, like it's a phase. It's a phase. The breakthrough phase is like you before the breakthrough is not the same you after the breakthrough. So one time, just to tell you how this started with me years ago, 3 years ago almost, I went to Cabo San Lucas with Cardone Ventures and Grant Cardone, my mentors, and it was like a very nice a retreat for 25 business owners, and there were like 4 billionaires there too. So I was there, and I had certain changes in my life, and I saw Grant there, and I'm like, Uncle G, I have a question. I'm like, Grant, how do I know I'm going through a breakthrough? And he said this casually. He's like, you will know you're going through a breakthrough when you are about to lose everything. You're not gonna break, you're not gonna lose, but it's gonna feel like you are about to lose everything, right? So I'm like, oh, so I had this feeling in my stomach. I'm like, oh my God, what is this feeling? So from then I realized that, okay, there is this thing called breakthrough. At that time, there was no breakthroughs until later on in my life. There were like certain things you feel like everything is crumbling. I'll give you a situation, like this is a real story. This is just an example to make it more relatable. I was living in Miami in the summer of 2021, and I was living in a hotel, and I would be paying monthly for the hotel. Like I didn't want to rent an apartment. I'm like, I'm gonna live in a hotel. And in one of the nights, so the hotel manager would normally just run my car. That night, the car didn't run. Like, what happened? So he said, Maryam, can you come in? Maybe you can need to go run it there. I'm like, okay, good. So I go ahead and I try to run it. It's not working. And here is the shocking thing. I go ahead and I check my bank account. My bank account doesn't have any money. I freaked out. I'm like, how come my bank account doesn't make any sense? So I'm like, oh my God. So I was very embarrassed. So I told the guy, I'm going to put $1,000 today. Tomorrow, I'm going to figure out the rest. And I have no idea how I'm going to figure out. And things by that time, by the way, before that happened, there was a lot of different things. There was like some relationship problems in my life. There was some business problems in my life. There was some different problems in my life. And now financial trouble that I didn't even see coming. I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? So that night, I went to take a shower and I just, sat there in silence, quietly praying. The following day, I'm thinking about, oh my God, how do I figure this out? Like, I don't know anyone in Miami. At that time, Alex and I were not an item yet. So I'm like, what do I do? So I remember, okay, let me go do the right things. I woke up in the morning, I went to the gym, and on my way back from the gym, it started to rain. Miami in summer. So that by the time I got back to the hotel, I was stuck in the rain, but I was light. I was calm. I go to my computer was on. I go there, I refresh the bank website, and I have this $150,000 coming in. And I'm like, what happened? I called the bank, they had a problem. And then someone needed to wire me a sum of money for a service. I'm like, wow, it's all come in. So you see, like that minute of breakthrough, before that, there was a lot of chaos. Things are falling apart. Something happened. Someone left. Someone came. Something happens. And then there is this period of silence. You're calm. And then there is this breakthrough that comes in a minute that swipes you from wherever you were, and you're light. And guess what? The minute before is not the same minute after. So whoever is going through breakthroughs, I'm gonna tell you, keep pushing through. You cannot quit though. You cannot quit. I could actually that night when the guy told me, oh, there is the card is not going through, I could literally did this. I could literally, you know what? I'm going back. This is enough. Bye-bye. Enough Miami. Enough of growing myself. No more of this. Khalas, I quit. I'm a loser. I'm leaving. But no, you push through. I did the right thing. I woke up in the morning. I went to the gym. And I know I'm like, I need to figure out the rest of the money for my place. And I still went back. And I did the right thing. And I was about to go ahead and watch do something on my thing. I'm supposed to be running a purpose session too in a few days after that. And voila, 150,000. And by the way, in my bank account, there was not 150,000 when I was having that challenge. So crazy thing will happen when you are actually refusing to quit. Your minute of breakthroughs will come when there's so much chaos. And then there is this moment of silence. If you push through, you're getting your breakthrough. 100%.
Fantastic. Miriam, I really, really appreciate having you here on the show today. Please tell the audience how they can get a hold of you.
Thank you so much, Tonya. The honor is mine. It's way overdue, but I'm so happy we made it happen today. So if people want to go ahead and reach out to me, they can on Instagram. My handle is Dr. Maryam Al Ali. You can also find me on Facebook on Maryam Al Ali. I'm easy to find.
You're
For
easy to find.
Tonya,
Well, I'll,
go ahead.
I'll put your website information into the show
That would
notes
be
so that
great.
people can find you that way.
Thank
And
you.
I really, really appreciate having you here. Thank you so very much. Until next time, Cancer Warriors, please go get your annual test, schedule your testing because it is super important. Have a good one.